So my special guest today, we have been friends since he left the UK for Los Angeles to pursue his dream of acting, and boy, did he make it happen. Starring in Bond film Quantum of Solace, American series Agent of Shields as Sunil Bakshi, guest lead in How to Get Away with Murder, the spin-off series of Suits, and he's currently starring in a massive hit called Mandalorian, which is part of the Star Wars franchise, playing Axe Woves. It's Simon Kassianides. Simon!
Hello, everybody. May the force be with you all. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining me for the second time on BBC Asian Network. I am your exclusive BBC interview.
Yes, the BBC asked, and I said, unless it's Preeya Kalidas, I'm not interested. Yeah.
This is the way.
Tell me about your casting for that. When you got the phone call, what was your first thought? I mean, you were super excited, but were you also really terrified? Because to be part of something so huge, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think that when you get the casting for anything like this, your first reaction is disbelief a little bit, but you then get to the work, which, as an actor yourself, you kind of remove. You have to get past what it's about, and then you kind of get to the reality of, well, it's worth a shot. It's a dream to get the opportunity to go in. So you don't belittle the chance, but you've got to remove yourself from all of that, that legacy. Because if you go in there thinking about that, you won't ever get to the performance. And so I went in. I was one of many. And I performed, and then you get the phone call, and it's a dream come true. When I got that phone call, I was actually, I was nearby, and to this day you still pinch yourself. I mean, I just posted something today on Instagram saying I'm still pinching myself, and you are. Then you get to the point where you're on set, and then they provide a Mandalorian helmet for you, and you're holding something that is a direct connection to the days when you're a baby playing with those Star Wars figures and getting your head wrapped around the fact that, I remember being on set. I was filming one of the scenes. I was in this elevator, which they show, and we all come out and we start fighting with these stormtroopers, and the elevator doors close, and all the buttons and all of the costume and everything, and the doors open, there was stormtroopers there, and I didn't move. And they were like, "Are you okay?" And I took the helmet off. I said, "Do you know what? I just need a second. I need a minute here, guys. This is blown my mind." And the really wonderful thing is that the show is made by people who all feel the exact same way. So there's nobody there that thinks they're a bit cooler than this. Everyone there is so passionate about the show, and they're so in awe of all of those symbols, that everyone just laughed and went, "Yeah, happens to everybody. Yeah, happens to everyone at least once during the shoot." So they gave me that moment, and they went, "Are you ready?" I said, yeah, I'm ready now.
But kudos for you for being so honest as well, because some people wouldn't have, because they've been sort of embarrassed by just being that honest about that moment and being in a scene that is actually so iconic with these iconic characters.
Yeah, well, it can be overwhelming, and I think if you don't get out again, you've got to pinch yourself and go. Also, some of the choices along with the character, I was really pleased that it was so collaborative, because it was a conversation about, because I auditioned with an American accent, and so when I got to set and I was talking like I am now, they said, well, Star Wars is, a lot of it originally was shot in the UK. This is the first Star Wars production ever shot outside of England. And there was a conversation, and it was agreed that, they'd be up for hearing an English accent. And I said, well, I'm going to make it a bit more South London from where I grew up. And they were like, yeah, sure, go for it. So I was like, all right, mate. Yeah.
Back in the day, when acting was merely a dream, you studied business.
I did, yeah.
You were doing very well. Were you working in finance?
When we met, I'd worked in the kind of middle office, back office of finance.
Right.
And I then had left. I ran a coffee shop with my mum. And then after that, I became a set assistant and was kind of working as an AD after a year. And when we met, I was working behind the camera. And I'd just seen you in Bombay Dreams, and I remember, just being in awe of your performance and just saying, I think my heart, I want to be an actor. And I remember telling you about that, and I was on the phone, and you were like, "Oh my God, yeah, you should totally do that." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, Preeya, for being supportive." But it was just a pipe dream, and then I realised.
But I said that to you because I believe that if you have a dream, and it's something, because at one point I had a dream and I just went for it, as you should, and you did. But it must have been terrifying because you kind of you took a big leap by leaving your comfort zone in terms of being in the UK, having your life, your family, your friends, and going to a place where I'm sure you didn't really know as many people, and you kind of having to start from the bottom, literally, as an actor, and then you have managed to work your way up. How has that process been for anyone listening that also has that same dream?
Yeah, I think the reason why you and I got on so well, and we're such good friends as well, I think we both come from really hard, middle class families that came to this country, worked really hard at whatever jobs to give their kids the best chance. And I was so aware as a kid of the sacrifices my parents made just to get a foothold in England, just to kind of provide a chance and a good education. And so I went to a good school, and I was on course to living a life around a profession that they really wanted, whether it's banker, lawyer. I think a lot of working class, middle class families, that's their hope for their kids. And I, at the same time, I had a dream. I loved literature. I wanted to be involved in the arts. And that just spells fear for families. They're just like, well, hold on a minute. How do I separate as a family my hopes for my kid not having a harder life and then pursuing their dreams? But it's the privilege that they've given you to kind of pursue that is the ultimate gift. And so it was dealing with that was very difficult, because there was a lot of guilt. I didn't want to let them down. I wanted to be a success. Did that feed into my work ethic? I'd say definitely. I wanted to do that for them as well as myself. But then moving to the States, I get asked this question a lot, why didn't you stay in England, make it work there, and then move? And in a way I did. I stayed in the UK. I started working in BBC dramas, doing quite well there. Obviously getting the part in James Bond didn't hurt, off the back of, some stage work. But I thought that a lot of the roles that I was playing were very stereotyped. I was kind of getting pigeonholed, and it can be difficult. I think a lot of actors that look like me in the UK, whether they're Italian, Greek, they don't know where to place a lot of us. And so I was only being cast for Greek roles or, Italian roles. And I wasn't being cast as a guy. There was this kind of buffer that I was coming up against that I felt. And moving to the States, I thought, well, let's see if that truly exists, where I'm given the chance to kind of just explore roles regardless of the way I look. And I did find that to be the case a lot more in my experience, which has led to this. There was so many parts along the way that had nothing to do with the way I looked. And I did make that move because I felt the limitations of that. But it was very scary. I didn't know anybody here. It's been very difficult. I won't say that it's just been one linear line. I lost a couple of homes along the way from, not having jobs to join the dots. I couldn't afford to stay here at some point. And there's a couple of people along the way that really, really helped me out in terms of believing in my dream and offering me a sofa to crash on and a place to stay. So, it's been challenging. It has.
And here you are now, starring in Mandalorian, in the Star Wars franchise as, can I just say, you have the coolest character name, Axe Wove.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, actually.